chilling. He's in Miami chilling. He doesn't need to fight.
So on the note of fighters that I'm really excited to see also in the welterweight division is
I already know who you're
Vicente
saying.
Luque, man.
Which we were both pretty bummed he got matched up with Woodley.
Yeah, I mean that it's very disappointing because watching Luque, I didn't even it was similar to watching the grapplers fight, the ones that we were talking about earlier today, the Minner fight, the Derek Minner fight. Watching Luque for me was exciting because he's so technical. Everything looks
Aptly
calculated.
named the silent assassin.
There's no wasted movement with Luque. It's I'm coming after you. You're going to die, and I'm gonna make sure that it's done. I don't know who. Like I don't know. I don't know who else I would want to see fight. Like it would be awesome to see him move up the rankings because I think he can give Usman a run for his money. I think he gets Colby.
Maybe at some point. I don't think yet. Maybe
not
at
yet.
Some
no,
point.
of course not. But fight some more, man. You had one fight last year, was it? I think he had one, and that was it.
It was brutal too.
It was.
He fought on the Shabazian card. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
it was that one.
that's the one that it was on.
Because look, I'm looking at this right now. Luque is 29, and Woodley is 38. After the Woodley and Covington fight, Dana White was the one saying Woodley should consider retiring. So you go from he should consider retiring to let's book him let's book him against someone that's 9 years younger and arguably possibly a rising contender in this division.
I'm getting under Dana's skin here. He's forcing him to retire. Is what's happening.
Do it. He's lost 14 rounds in a row.
I think that's what the plan is. Luque is going to
retire.
He's going to retire him, man. That's what's going to
happen. Dude, his last fight, he left in a stretcher. What else do you want from the guy? Does he have to leave in a coffin next? Do you have to have a pallbearer there to escort him out? Like, come on, man. I would have much rather seen Luque fight maybe Neil Magny. Actually, Neil Magny just lost against the other guy I would have suggested. Maybe Luque versus Michael Chiesa. Or maybe even Luque and Neil. Neil just lost to Thompson, but Neil and Luque would have been cannon bombs because those guys are both absolutely deadly on their feet. That would have been cool. It'll be like if Luque wins, he's going to move up in the rankings because he's fighting number 7. But it's like it's a waste of a fight in my opinion. It's like you're spoiling that talent on someone that is already on his way out. I don't like that.
Well, you never know. I mean, what would be interesting is. Maybe Luque moves. So you're saying he wins, he's going to move up to the 7th place, right?
I don't know if he'll jump up there necessarily. He might jump up there, yeah.
He could potentially fight Masvidal or Leon Edwards.
Leon also said, to Leon's credit, because part of this hasn't been I mean, I think I forgot who someone was accusing him of ducking. I don't know if that was necessarily the case. Part of it was Leon had COVID and he wanted to make sure he didn't have lingering effects of COVID. And then I think he was also having issues traveling because he's in the UK and whatever. So Leon has said I think he wants to fight a good amount this year. Because again, he hasn't fought since 2019. I don't know if Leon would... Because Leon had taken the fight against Khamzat, right? Khamzat at the time was number 15 when he agreed to take him. I mean, as a number 3 guy, you're willing to risk that to fight number 15 is props to you. Also, Khamzat had so much hype behind him after those first 3 fights. It cooled down a lot because he's kind of been out of the circulation of the conversation because he's been sick. So then that's why they were trying to make Colby happen. Dana's like, look, he was doing us a solid by agreeing to fight a number 15 guy. We can kind of give it back to him by having him fight the number 1 guy. And I think, honestly, that would have been a fair fight to have made anyway. And the winner of that would then fight Usman. I think that would have been good. I don't know why Colby ducked that fight. I mean, he was saying, he's like, I'm not gonna give to charity and let you should have fought him. Because now, as Colby, I don't know who I was listening to that was talking about this. If you're Colby now, who's your next fight? Is it Burns?
I mean, it would have to be because if Usman continues to duck him, then you don't have a choice. But I don't know, man, because it's... And I don't know if it's 100% on Dana. I think it is, right? He gets the full control over who fights and who doesn't fight.
He's not.
He doesn't?
I think he has said he does not do the matchmaking.
Oh, interesting.
So I mean, I'm sure if he says don't do that, they won't, I would think. But I don't think he's also... and I'm sure if there's one that he'd like to see.
Well, I mean, if I'm a matchmaker and Dana White walks up to me and says don't do this, I'd probably... listen.
Yeah.
Dude, the guy's terrifying. He's huge.
He's roided.
Yeah.
The other one, I mean, Colby had said, he's like, I want either Usman or I want Masvidal. He wants Masvidal because they used to be buddies. They were roommates. They were both fighting out of, I think they were out of AKA in Miami. And then they had a falling out. I think Masvidal punched Colby at a hotel or something, if I'm not mistaken. And since then, they've completely flipped. And it's funny because they both are doing the whole Trump thing too. So he's all like, I want, after he beat Woodley, he said, I want either Usman or I want Masvidal. And Colby is in a position now too, it's similar to Masvidal, where it's like, he doesn't have to fight. He's made his nut. He doesn't need to go and fight to make a living. He's already done it.
I don't know. I feel like him and Usman may have like a genuine dislike for each other, and I'd like to see.
No, I
that,
think they do. And I also think he genuinely dislikes Masvidal as well. Or maybe they might be playing that up more, but I do think
dislike more is the question here.
I think the fight to make should be Usman and Covington.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
If that was not that would have been my first option for Colby. My second option for Colby, I get it. Look, if he fought Masvidal, I would fight that because I would want to see him just absolutely wail on him. But I think the next logical fight at the time was that March 13th fight, and I'm sure physically Colby's a machine. I'm sure he's been training, so I'm sure he would have been ready for it. I think it's also like in case he actually lost to Leon Edwards, I think it's like I don't want to lose my standing, but there was no chance in hell he was going to lose to Leon Edwards. There wasn't any way. So I don't know. Now at this point, I'm like, because again, as a Colby fan, I'm looking, I'm like, all right, what do you do? Where do you go from here? Because you're in this situation where it's like you're possibly not going to fight Usman because now they're talking about Masvidal Usman. You're not fighting Leon Edwards, so yeah, Gilbert Burns stuff, and that'll be a cool fight too. But
or maybe you can do, maybe you could do one of those things where you just fuck it, I'll fight Luque.
I don't think you will.
I mean, a guy can dream, right? Like, I'd love to see something like that.
The thing is,
dropping down in ranks.
The thing is, I think at that point, like Luque is not there yet to fight Colby. Colby will make quick work of him, I think.
I don't know. I'm rising star, man. I'm riding that train, dude. So keep giving me the under.